Today we are going to practice the glazing technique on a goldfish. Glazing means adding layers once the previous layer is completely dry. In watercolor, we do this to give the painting a vibrant, luminous look because each layer stays visible and glows through the ones on top instead of looking flat. I start by building the outline of the goldfish using a V shape for the head. Then I extend that out to form the belly and the upper body line. From there, I sketch in the tail and the fins using a very light value of ultramarine. Once the outline is done, I go over everything with clean water and add the shadow areas using a medium value of ultramarine. While I'm painting the outline, let me give you a quick overview of this glazing technique. For this fish, we are going to paint layer by layer, letting each layer dry completely before adding the next. We are using analogous colors, so when we layer one color over another, they don't turn muddy. And also, we are using transparent colors in this painting, because these transparent colors let light pass through them and bounce back off the white paper underneath, and that's exactly what gives the painting a vibrant glow. If you use opaque colors instead, you will still get a nice result, but you won't get that luminous glow since opaque pigments sit on the top of the paper instead of letting light pass through them. Next, I start defining the black markings on the tail and fins using Payne's gray. I let the paper to dry completely. Once the paper is completely dry, I wet only the areas where I'm going to add yellow, that is gamboge yellow. So I wet near the head, part of the fins and body, but I leave that tail area untouched. As I didn't wet the whole fish, but I that is I wetted only a part of the fish. Because of that, after adding gambogello, a problem arose in that one particular area, but I fixed it and I will show you exactly what happened in just few seconds. After wetting the paper, I add gambogello and start defining the body. What happened here is the water pulls the pigment from my first layer and creates a cauliflower effect. Those little bloom marks sometimes get in wet on wet washes, but I want to fix it. I try to lift that cauliflower effect using a clean damp brush. Then once again I go over those thin areas with Payne's Gray to deepen the darkness. After that I allowed the paper to dry completely. Once the paper is completely dry, this time I'm going to wet the fish completely. After wetting the whole fish, next I use Crimson Lake to add the third layer for the fish. Here near the eye area, I use darker value of Crimson Lake. When I go to the middle of the body, I reduce the value, and near the tail, I added a darker value of Crimson Lake. I don't paint the Crimson Lake near the bottom. I just soften the edges so that there is a gradual color transition. Now I'm using Payne's Gray in a thicker consistency to paint around the eye and the pupil. And also I use it to add few dots above the mouth, and I use Crimson Lake to paint the mouth of the fish. And that's it. The glazing technique worked beautifully here. Layer by layer, the color builds up with real depth without looking muddy. I hope you enjoyed watching it. See you in my next video. Until then, take care and bye bye from Prema.